the support you really wanted was the luxury of time, the luxury of being without her, the luxury of knowing that someone else was caring for her and she was well cared for. But it was difficult to find. Eventually, we found respite care through social services, and by being thoroughly beastly to social services, we eventually got some respite weekends, which were a godsend.
I've been offered respite. There's a care centre not far from me. I've been offered 24 nights a year, and I've actually been awarded 3 because they can't get him in because there's such a high need and nowhere else to take him. So on one hand they're saying yes, you can have it, and on the other hand they're saying but actually you can't have that many, really.
I went to the first opportunity playgroup when Guy was about 2, and it was like a haven for me. I felt accepted, I felt normal. I felt I wasn't being judged, and Guy wasn't being judged, and it was just wonderful to be with other parents who you can share all this experience with.
And a friend said, would you like to go to an opportunity playgroup? I know a friend that runs it. With hindsight, I should have gone a year before when she'd mentioned it, but I just couldn't make that first step. I just didn't know what I wanted to do or how to do it.
I still think fathers are very bad at talking to each other about it. There's a sort of, if I meet another couple who have a disabled child and some have become friends, there is a common understanding that we both have. And it's not something everyone ever discusses very much. Maybe that's bad, but I mean, it's very difficult. I think men aren't good at talking about it.
Lots of mums, all mums, no dads, lots of mums there, years of expertise between them. And it was just storytelling. And have you got this? Do you go there? Are you getting these benefits? And it was just there every Wednesday morning, solid. I knew that I could go and rely on these mums and get the support I needed and knew where to go.
Contact Family offers an immense amount to parents with disabled children. They offer a listening ear, they offer guidance, they offer the ability to put you in touch with another family who either has been through the stages that you're going through with your child with a disability, or is going to go along those lines, or is currently at the same stage that you're at, and to be able to talk to another parent who's doing that, just to reassure yourself that perhaps you're doing the right thing, or that you can find some other help elsewhere. And if you can tell them how you managed something, it's a give and take. It's a give and take all the time.
I think we saw a notice for Contact Family in a hospital or visiting a paediatrician. And we rang them up. And for the first time, and Georgia was probably about 3 by this time, no doctor had ever suggested Contact Family, no paediatrician, no hospital, no any of the so-called experts we went to see ever mentioned anything other than social services. So ringing Contact Family, suddenly there were people who were listening, who appeared to have huge knowledge about everything. For many areas they couldn't help. I think we were still searching for an answer then, but there wasn't an answer, they couldn't help there. But here was a range of services and someone who was actually an organisation that actually had time to listen.
Because the strength within the parental community is huge, because we're the people who know what it's like. We're the people who are doing the frontline stuff. And meeting others is your source of inspiration, really. Because it doesn't matter how many times a professional tells you how or why to do something, unless you meet somebody who can help you with the ways you can do it within a home setting, it's meaningless, really.
Contact a family. Well, I'm a great believer that knowledge is power. And contact a family. You know, parents need to become warriors for their children. It would be lovely if we didn't have to go out there and fight for every single thing. But the fact is, at the moment, that's what's happening. Contact a Family can provide information and advice and support, and they can give parents that knowledge and arm them with the right information and support that they need to go out there and fight those battles. And I think that's incredibly important. Right from the very beginning, getting information about Angelman syndrome for us, it was Contact a Family that I turned to because they're the only ones that had heard of it. They put us in touch with another organisation. They put me in touch with a support group. I was able to go along and meet other parents who had children with the same syndrome. Years later, they've helped me through lots of other different issues to do anything to do with parenting a disabled child. And I just think just having that knowledge, having that information is just critical.
We have learned about things we would never have had to confront before. We have met people who we would never have met. A lot of the experiences we've had with him have been positive. We've learned that there's a lot of people out there who work really hard for disabled people, and there's a lot of kindness that's come our way. I think those are the triumphs.
I've always tried to bring things back to the normal. So my other children were going to boarding school at the age of 13, so I thought that's when Georgia should try and go to boarding school. Not only try and go, but it was one place where she would, according to her paediatrician, her educationalists, and practically everyone, benefit from having full-time care in order to get all the therapies which would give her the best chance of reaching the highest achievement that Georgia is ever going to be able to reach. She deserves that. Anyone deserves that. But you do reach a brick wall at trying to get funding for it. And actually there have been areas where Contact Family put me in touch with fantastic legal knowledge to help us fight our battles, put us in touch with fantastic legal knowledge who told us which part of which act to read and make applicable, so that when we went for our battles, and it will be a huge battle with our local health authority, we went much better equipped than we could possibly have gone if we hadn't spoken to Contact Family.